let me explain to you guys what's going on. I can analyze and connect, and I've connected with my dad. I didn't quite understand what he was thinking, because I get it, but it's now that I can analyze it real well, I can explain to you my relationship between my dad here. Okay. What was happening is, okay, now, and you're going to have to wrap your minds around it. If you listen to this, if you don't listen to this, it's up to you. Most of you guys refuse to listen because you don't want to hear the truth, and then you stop listening like a little kid. I don't want to hear it. You can't go you can't go do that. You might get hurt. No, stop talking. I don't want to hear it. You're mean. Okay. I'm going to keep talking, so here it goes. All right, now. What happened with the sexual grooming and stuff like that did happen with the oldest daughter, okay? She had sex when they interviewed her at the Child Protective Services and stuff, because I had to purchase a pregnancy test with some of the young men that she had sex with in Jervis, because she was trained by her mother to go after older men. One was 18, one was 20. She was 12. They both knew she was 12. Her father told them and to be careful, because they could get in trouble if they have sex with her, and it could send them to jail. And I didn't want to see that happen to him, but she looks older, but if she comes on you, don't have sex with her because it's dangerous. You could end up going to jail. One of them, the 18-year-old's dad, worked at the fort and told me, oh, I get it, okay, I know. And she came over 2 nights later, talked her into sneaking out the window and going to his place and having sex, unprotected, because I had to buy, or maybe he did. I think the other one didn't. Yeah, she told me he used a condom. The 18-year-old used a condom, but the 20-year-old didn't. Okay. But don't blame my daughter. She was trained by her mom. Okay. Her mom had been training her. I didn't catch her. She showed me, she masturbated in front of me at 5 in Santa Fe. Then, I talked to Amy about it. Amy must have talked to her about it. Apparently it didn't work to try to get Daddy involved, so I wasn't going to go for it. God, it's a training, okay? She would do a cyber sex in her lingerie with men while Natalie was watching. Natalie told me about that at 7 in Wyoming. She had her how-to masturbate and seduce sex videos on her MP3. I told Amy I didn't want Natalie have borrowed her MP3. I told Natalie about it, and she goes, you're sick, I don't watch those. Like, okay. And you can understand poor Natalie's feeling, because your society says one thing, your mom's doing another. And it feels good to have sex. And if you're taught when you're young how to relax and come, you don't really come like you're supposed to. It's just more of a come. It's not a whoa. Yeah. You don't have those, so the girls are just like Amy is. And sex is just sex. Where Londa was like, whoa, when you have it with the right guy, I mean, it's like, whoa, and it is fun. It's like an e-ticket at Disneyland. You're like, what? Whoa! That's why I knew with Amy, oh man, she just must not come as hard as Law does. Steffi never did. I was like, why? Because when Law had an orgasm, we had those multiple, woo, it was like, oh, I didn't want to give that up. That was nice. I mean, she would just explode, and I was, it was like an e-ticket at Disneyland when we had those, it was like that on that movie, the Tattoo Girl one or whatever, with Daniel Craig on it, it's like he pleasures her, but not enough. And that's what I felt like with Lost. Like, we don't hit those enough. I want to hit those, but it's a mental thing, so everything has to be working mentally right. So our relationship wasn't always in the mental right place, so we didn't have as many as we could have, but it wasn't my fault. It was the two of us. She was out screwing around. She felt bad. She thought I was out screwing around. So we were never going to really get that back, but maybe we might have moments where we could. I'm like, we could do this all the time if you realize I am not screwing Sergeant Adolfo. But she couldn't because she was screwing people at the clubs. So, see what I'm saying? So she killed our, our Disneyland ride. Our e-ticket ride. That sucks. Brad. I still love you. I always love you. Not that, no, never want to get bad. An X is an X for a reason. Miriam was right, but I always love you. And I always love Amy, and I always love Stephanie. I love everybody, and the ladies that showed me heaven on earth, I love them, okay? Now, I always wanted a relationship with Natty like I had with Kate and Amy, okay? Daddy. I'll always be your Katie Bug, Gracie Bird, and I wanted that with Beaner. It never was meant to happen. It was taken away from us, and I hate it. I hate that fact. And the people that did that, I loathe you. I really do. I mean, I love everybody, but I loathe you and your behaviors, what you did to me and that girl. But I'm proud of me and the way we got through it. Now, if you can imagine you explaining this to your siblings and them not believing you and believing your wife who screwed around left the country for another man and had always had a history of lying, screwing around in business dealings that were really not on the up and up. And they know this for a fact, all right, because they believe that we're bringing down a good man, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. Okay, so they take my kids to the authorities and they question at the time 3 or 4-year-old Katie and 7 or 8-year-old Emmy. Is Daddy molesting you? Is Daddy putting his hands in your panties? Is Daddy? Yeah, this really good dad who loves his girls. Yeah. Is your dad trying to molest you? Is your daddy been having sex with you or putting his penis in your mouth? Thanks, Pancha. While you're telling your kids everything what to do and Buddhists are going to hell and all people that aren't Christian sex like you and stuff like that, are you telling them that having sex with their parents is okay? I'm going to ask them because I think you have some crazy ways that you teach things. Come here, kids. Are Mom and Dad having sex in front of you? Did Dad try to put his penis in you, Melissa? Did Mommy make you touch her vagina, boys? Yeah, that's essentially what happened to me. Because I don't agree with your religious beliefs. I'm going to ask if you're molesting your children. Yeah, I'm going to ask them. That's just evil. It's pure evil. It's really evil. It's not cool. They deserve to hear this. We don't talk about it. Well, we're not at your house. We're on my YouTube. And we'll talk about it because I have courage to talk about things like this. And you obviously don't because Jesus will take care of it for you. Well, Jesus is talking to me too. And he says, call them on their crap, make them deal with what they did, and help them fix it. Thanks, Jesus. Okay. I think that's more what Jesus would say instead of we don't talk about that, we hide about it. We just hide under the truth from Jesus' death, his crucifixion, his attempted murder. I don't do that. I'd stand up and say, he ain't heavy, he's my brother. How can I walk and carry across with you? I love you, Jesus. I love you too, Ralph. Okay, thanks. I love you too, man. You're right there, bro. I get it. We're alike in spirit. So it's almost like, I love myself. Love is me. I know. Knock it off, dude. Don't be silly, man. Jesus doesn't joke. He's serious all the time. He never laughs. He has no sense of humor and in no way, shape, or form finds any episode of South Park or Family Guy any way funny. That's a complete lie, Ralph. I know. Okay. Yes, he would laugh. Of course he'd laugh. On South Park and Family Guy, they're twisted. A lot of it's very bad analysis. It's twisted. It's just to sell DVD for money, which is destroying your planet, which is twisted. But a lot of it is laughable, man. It's really funny. I'm Peter Griffin, and it makes me laugh. Okay. So does Cartman. Okay. Sorry. But it's twisted and stupid and sells plastic and helps destroys its own planet. It makes fun of people very dangerously and then promotes anger, hate, and fear groups amongst each other. So I wouldn't suggest passing it on to let your kids watch unsupervised and not talking about that it's political social satire like the Japo Hitler cartoons of the 1940s with Bugs Bunny and Superman, okay? All right, because then it led to Japanese detention camps, which separated families and had people's family die, and it was horrible, okay? It didn't have German detention camps, so I don't know why. Maybe it's the color of the skin. But, so here we go. So where are we going next? Oh, my father. Okay, my father, and why my father believes what he believes and why we're doing it. You guys don't like my father. I love my father, okay? I understand what he's going through, okay? And I'm seen as a horrible financial burden in the whole 9 yards. And, you know, his girlfriend who was the signer on this house and helped him get this house, you know, like, why are you watching your son? Same way he watched his mom in here. He watched his mom. But my aunt explained it to me, too. Grandma's insurance money and good she's back in the day. She was born in 1913. She worked for AT&T, which was which is not AT&T, it was Mall Bell or whatever stuff back in the day. She worked for the phone company, which was a monopoly back in the time. It had excellent benefits and retirement benefits. But for some reason, this lady lived till 98 years old and was going to keep on going. She had great insurance. She had everything, stuff like that. And she had excellent benefits, really good benefits, because she retired back in the 70s when they had really good benefits. And so she was paying for a lot of things. My aunt let it slip one time because she was trying to make me feel bad. She was like, you don't thank me, thank your grandma who's 98 years old and dying for this stuff because she pays for it. She was doing it to take a shot at me, but I had no clue. Oh, no way. Yeah. So she helps fill the bills, but now that the bills are getting more this and that, you guys are panicking because it's hard to afford her. That sucks. But she has really good insurance, and if she accidentally dies, and the doctor can write a thing saying, yeah, this is an accidental death and not natural causes, they can cash in on the insurance policy, keeping on a 98-year-old. Wow, that's pretty sick and twisted. That's what my dad says. He thinks insurance is the most evil thing that was ever created. He hates it. And they also had insurance policies on my Uncle Donald and my Uncle Jimmy. It's pretty whack. Yeah. Uncle Donald was murdered, and Uncle Jimmy died of unnatural causes kind of thing too, Parkinson's kind of whatever, stuff like that too. So they both died and both had insurance policies, and both were covered. Okay, so it's pretty evil stuff. So my dad has to live in that. My dad thinks that he lives in hell, and that this is hell on earth, and that this is just my part of, I'm reaping what I get, and this is my hell of it. This is how he justifies it with what's happening to me, because I don't believe Jesus is my personal Lord and Savior and God reincarnate that's going to take me to a magical heaven after all this is done. So that's why I'm being punished the way I am, because it's not because my son is naive, it's because my son is evil, and that's why these people are doing this to him, because I'm in hell with a bunch of demons, and it's like almost a purgatory thing that earth has become. And when the true kingdom comes, because I believe in Jesus, Jesus will save me from all this. That's what my dad believes, because it's all he has to cling to, because life is so horrible. See, so I don't judge him, I just understand him. Okay, now with what happened with in regards to the kids and stuff like that, I probably should have the kids back right now. I probably should have went into legal aid, and because Tina was the one whose house that well, it's not her house, it's my dad's, he's playing on and stuff, but she's like the landlord of this place, so I should treat her nicer. But I do treat her nice. I'm really kind in the way I deal with this stuff, and I'm really a decent person about the way that I deal with her publicly. I really am, compared to what happened to me. Now, she started talking with Barbara Rose Fabre and talking with the Fabres, and they're well-respected Republican, vested, work for this, people and stuff, and I'm this crazy, wacko Parsons person who has a history of people with mental problems. Go figure, people are crazy. But, because when you're honest and you try to be honest with people that lie, buy, steal, and murder, you run into problems. Or you become one of them. And that's what happens to some of the people in my family. It got really hard on them. My Uncle Jimmy was a good guy. My Uncle Donald was too. They were just trying to survive with really equal people. But they were really decent, good, kind-hearted men. My Uncle Donald, he sold that brat, but he offered it to me, You need a car, little Earl? You can have it. My Uncle Jimmy would tell stories about my dad, and in every story, my dad was the hero. My dad was the best looking, all the girls liked him, the most talented, everything. Every story my Uncle Jimmy ever told me, my dad was one of the greatest guys ever, okay? And my Uncle Donald, he taught me how to hang out with my kids. He's totally embarrassing and still love people. And you need that? You can have it. But, okay, Dad, can I have it? No, he stole it. But he loves me and I'm his family, and he was going to give me that Subaru brat. No strings attached. There you go, son. Because he was that type of guy. He was a good guy. Uncle Donald was a great sense of humor and a great guy, just in a fucked up world. Okay? And he had a temper on him. He was graduated high school, didn't get to play football. My Uncle Frank was at football practice. He had a 4-H project with some chickens, and he had to go to football practice. My grandma told Donald to do his project, so Frankie could go play football, and my uncle commenced to going out there and killing all those chickens, because Frankie got to go play football, and he didn't anymore, so he was pissed. Yeah, he loved football. That's how much my uncle loved football. It was mean. Yeah, that's mean. But yeah. Whew. So, let's get back to the story about the thing what happened with Miss Sandstrom. Well, she was being an advocate for my kids. She was the one helping my sisters call everything in, because that way she could do it from like a objective, well-established, financially strong third party. So they were working through her. Okay, Denny, you're going to have to do this because it would look bad if we all do it to our brother. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Okay. So let's have Caiaphas do it, or Herod, instead of their own family. Let's use the authorities to do it. So they go about doing this, and then, of course, they're talking to oh my God, yeah, this is terrible what he's accusing us of. We have a lot of documentation to prove that Amy is schizophrenic and bipolar, and she's an excellent sexual predator. This reminds me a lot of a movie with Richard Dreyfuss and Barbara Streisand called Nuts. You ever seen it? Okay. Well, but so it was going on, and I'm like, wow. Well, I had an incriminating tape that was from Dr. Sawyer's office. When Amy was about 10 or so, she had an operation on her ovaries, and they had it filmed and had a copy of it, and he's talking through it, saying, here's what's happening, Amy. I'm like, I thought it was the weirdest thing I ever saw. You have a scope operation on your uterus and ovaries, on your inside, your female parts, and they have a tape of it, and they saved it. Yeah. That's just weird. I went back and watched it, and I'm like, who does this? That's just not normal. It's a science project to show what's happening on your inside of your body. Yeah, but it showed, and they said that she had certain kind of damage and things he's going to work with on a girl that shouldn't, but it would be a girl that typically would be having sex before she should. Most people that are professionals would have reported it, but they didn't. They had a videotape of it. Well, I was trying to get across to Fabre that I had no intention on publicly making him look bad. And I wanted to really have peace and them to get help in therapy and for me to get my kids back and Amy to get help. So Tina, who helped them remove my kids, came back playing hero and saying, Dad went to Tucson with her and said, "Do get some stuff. Tina's going to go by and they'll see the kids." And so put some stuff together. And she's going to take it and drop it off to the kids. So the people that kidnapped my kids, betrayed me, and treated me like complete crap are in my face. She's sitting there going, yeah, I'm taking care of your kids. Pack a bag of their clothes and their belongings so I may take them to your children because I protected your children from your crazy ass. That's what she was doing. So I had to sit there from the woman who helped the people kidnap my kids, put their clothes and their toys and their movies and their video games in a large box for her to take, and then thank her for doing it. Yeah, just like I had to thank my sister for taking Emily and Kate down to CPS to be questioned if Dad was having sex with them. Thank you, Pancha. Okay, thank you, Tina. I appreciate what you did for me and my children. And if you don't get the hint of sarcasm in there, you're not a very intelligent person. All right? Now, they took back the video. I took that videotape. I wrapped it in Amy's yellow cotton dress that I saved, because I always thought of the song MacArthur's Park when I thought about Amy, that I saved for Emily that I was going to give her when she grew up to remind her of her mother who left us. And then tell her about that song so she'd have something to cry about for missing her mom by whatever her mom did to us. And it would remind her of her mom just as it reminded me of her mom. MacArthur Park, go listen to it. I wrapped that videotape that was incriminating, that would have incriminated them all. And professionals would have looked at it and said, how do you explain this, Mr. Fabre? I can't. Well, I gave the videotape back, and they're like, oh, God, Amy's right. And so is his family. This guy is so naive, it's not even funny. Sure isn't. But if the paper laws and the Constitution and the paperwork that is set up by the American Founding Fathers for rich people to manipulate poor people legally because of money, access, and wealth are reversed anytime in the near future. And the NSA and the CIA, because you are a person of interest in nuclear power plants and a chief for 20-some years on a nuclear sub who ran the reactors, has information and access to all personal information in your life. Are you still going to be able to hide under that paper protection that you have? Is your Bible going to save you from the living word? Is your Constitution going to save you from the truth? We'll find out. The written word was inspired by God and spoken by people that are inspired by God to speak the truth, be the truth, and live the truth. You have no man to live this word, be this word. Be flawed, be a flawed human being, making his mistakes along the way and trying their best, just like Lot, Abraham, David, John, Muhammad, and Jesus. They can change the written word, but they can't change the living word, because he will not kneel to your idols and your paper laws, paper roses, and paper poses. You figuring this out? If you are, and if this all hopefully changes for all of us soon, you have reap what you have sown. So when I planted in the fields, I made sure I dug deep, put my seeds in the soil, planted them well, and did what I had to do. Next time, I would suggest you take your rocks, which is your money, out of your fields, because a lot of your seeds did not take root and did not grow, because you valued rocks over the life and truth of what was taught to you by your Messiah, Jesus of Nazareth, who is a lot like me, and I am a lot like him. Now that you see how we teach, how we analyze, how we observe, and how we have forms of like what people would call telekinetic revelation, because we call it telekinetic revelation because this stuff really works, and I really believe in it, and I really believe it's practical and tangible and applicable. It's manipulatable, it certainly is, because it's predicated on free will, and people can manipulate free will nowadays like you wouldn't believe. I mean, you can't trust any of your sports outcomes because of monetary-based gambling systems and monetary-based, stuff. So, you can't believe anything's really, really true. You can't even believe the woman that loves you really loves you for you, or she's manipulated by a government control group that made her want to come and be with you and then manipulate you and destroy you. Do you understand how this stuff works now? Okay. Like Michael Aquino said to me in my alleged telekinesis, man, we can't get them to do anything they don't want to do. So it has to be both people. So me and Natalie didn't want anything to happen between the two of us. So it was her and me. Because she wanted you to want her more than Amy, and she wanted you to want it in a social condition that was acceptable to you, and you couldn't do it because she was too young, it was manipulated, and it was wrong. She was taught to accept wrong and practice wrong, and you didn't want that for her because you really love her. And she'll know that, and she'll really love you. Well, I love you, Beaner. I'm proud of us. Like I told your mom in that email that they used as incriminating evidence to steal you, and because that guy's not really lucid, and not many people are really lucid, especially Joy Arpaio and some of the other people. They're quite insane, and they have trouble investigating information and observational analysis, and a lot of these people are trained in crime scene techniques to put people away for a long time for crimes, and a lot of times they can probably see it's probably crimes they didn't commit. Like that one brother that I was in jail with, that his girlfriend set him up with drugs and 8-ball in the back, and he's doing time because he pissed off the wrong girl, and the police used her as an informant. That's just messed up. You messed up. I mean, you thought you were doing the right thing. You're not a bad person. I can look at the crime and the scene and everything like that. You thought you were taking care of a really bad man, but you can't trust your informant, man. She's a drug addict who was getting back at her ex. Yeah, man, it's bad information. Just analyzing. I can't put this before a court. Look, and I can't believe a judge would look at this. Wait a minute. This is her. She has a child with this man, and this man is living with another woman with another child, and used her to set him up. I mean, used her as the informant to try to get him with the drugs in his car, and it's in her car, not his. Dude, no. I mean, look at this. And these are judge and police officers that send people to jail for a long time. He sat and explained it to me in like 5 minutes. I went, this case would be thrown out. No, it's not. And he's going to jail, and he's in Santa Fe. Yeah, no one jumped up to take his case. No one stopped it. No one would take his case. He's just a man. He's not completely innocent, but he's a good guy. And he's a good dad. He takes care of his kids. He would take care of her. He would do things, whatever he could, whenever he worked, to help take care of her kid. Just not enough. And she wanted him to be with her. And he's like, I can't be with you. You're a drug addict. My girl's not. I'm not going to stay with a drug addict. And so he didn't stay with the drug addict. He stayed with the one that wasn't. And as a result, the one that was a drug addict paid an informant for the police and sent him to jail because he wouldn't stay with her. Would you stay with the drug addict or the girl that's not? Take your pick. You see what I'm saying? This is the world we live in, man. and this is the way I work. Daniel works this way, Jesus works this way, David works this way, Solomon works similar because he is a son. Solomon, in a lot of ways, has some, like Patrick, man, he can see stuff. I mean, it's wild. I see stuff and he sees stuff. He sees like demons. He can see when people are evil. He's almost like, he won't go kill him. He doesn't get Odison because his dad is not Bill Paxton. His dad is the similitude of King David. So I don't get an axe, call it Otis, and start killing people. No, that are bad. I just point it out, and then they either stop themselves or our legal system help me stop them for us. But that doesn't help either. I don't lock them up. I don't put them away. I try to help fix them. I don't think institutionalizing people in a place where they're abused is going to help correct them and correct this, especially the world being molecular and relative. So it's just going to perpetuate the problem instead of find a solution to it. See what I'm saying? And money is the biggest problem of all, because we extort, murder, kill, destroy, and it gives us chances to expose other people, manipulate other people, and lock them up in detention centers and have them abused because they can't pay their extortion properly here on planet Earth, because it's a top-paid, it's a pyramid system, you know what I mean? It's a pyramid system, and pyramid systems suck. They don't work. You have to find more of a way to share. And our government, the Constitution, is set up for a pyramid system that will, you have bottom feeders and top feeders. And once you get to the top fed, anybody can be president, anybody can be the head of a corporation, and anybody else can be the people that they feed off of and put out in the street. It's like Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. That's our system. It was inspired by God. I seriously doubt it. If you think it's inspired by God, then your God is money. Okay? Slavery. Exploitation. You're talking about a country who wouldn't allow their women to vote till the 1920s, that had other people as slaves, considered the men 3/5 of a man. When they gave them their freedom because they were forced to through a terrible war, the men were allowed to vote that were black men, that were 3/5 of a human. They were allowed to vote some 60 some odd years before their own wives were. I don't think these people were divinely inspired by God. They were divinely inspired by money. Okay, that's just my analysis. You can be mad at me and, hey, I want to kill him. He's evil. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Muhammad, and I believe in God, and I believe in Haile Selassie. I believe in my living messiahs that have come before me, and I believe in God. Okay, I don't believe in money, and I believe I'm the way, the truth, and life, and I think life has more value than money, and I think I'm the light and the way, and I can enlighten you to the fact that there is omnipotence and omnipresence in my personal faith-filled perspective and opinion. And I believe it more than just an opinion, because I believe there is a life source that gives life to all creation, and that is in every man, woman, and child. And if you do not see this, then you're blind. And if you see this, you'll see that we are all Christ. And if you see this, then you can all submit to and live Islam and realize that we are a Rasta. And I am an Israelite who barters with God for more time, more patience, more intelligence, more love, and more real faith. So I believe in Kingdom Come, like Bono and Edge and Adam and Larry said, and still haven't found what I'm looking for. I believe in Kingdom Come, and all the colors will bleed into one. You know I believe it. I do, because I'm like him, and he's like me. You guys are too, right? You too? I love you guys, man. I gotta get going. I'm just throwing that line out there, seeing if I can fish up any men and women to really start doing this, but it's just another day. I didn't put the towel around me and go to the bedroom chair and sit down. I can't. I got dressed, got this video feed, came in here, filled it up, walked my way down to the library. So sad, so sad. Sometimes he feels so sad. All alone in an apartment, it's his dog and his cats, and it's cool because Jake's laying on my bed. Looking at me like, dude, you gonna go get it? I am. I'll make sure you have plenty of water, and I'll pour you a little food before I leave, and I'll be back earlier today, hopefully. I don't know. I've taken some time this morning because I slept in because I was so beat last night. I'm really tired, Zeke, but I got to go to work for another day. Maybe if we're lucky, I can bring back some kids to love you. And you can wiggle and wiggle while you get hugged by and Katie and Emmy and Noah and all just, oh, it's Zeke, we love Zeke, oh, Speedy, oh, Pebbles, we missed you so much, oh. Maybe that could happen sooner than later. Yeah, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. Yeah, I'd probably have a better chance of monkeys flying out of my butt today than that happening anytime soon, because I've been doing this for 4 years and it's been the same story every day. Yeah, old Maxie Priest, same old stories been told before. Same old conclusion keeps knocking at my door. Da na 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 na. Because when I was sitting there watching that movies and I was going to go tomorrow to work and I was thinking about it and I was like, I looked at the picture of Bob and I was like, Bob, I was like, man, I'm going to go walk all the way down there and walk back here and I'm going to be laying in this room again playing video games. I'm down to my last set of batteries after this next, so I won't be able to do that. But I've got enough batteries with enough juice in them to play movies. So watching movies and playing video games, and I was alright for a while. I could smile for a while, but when I saw you last night, you held my... I'll be crying. And then, yeah, I'll never be blue. My dreams come true. I've never been to Blue Bayou, so I'm not going back someday because I ain't never been. I love you guys, alright? Mercy. Pretty Ralphie, don't walk away, Pretty Ralphie. Listen to what we say, we really love you. Yeah, my playground in my mind. All the wonders that I find. So I'll be in the playground in my mind, walking the library, working for you as I always do. I love you guys, all right? Hang in there. Clint Holmes, really good song. Go listen to it. It's one of my favorites, man. It's really good. He has a really good voice. All the wonders that I find in the playground in my mind, can we make it real? Do we have to buy, rob, borrow, and steal? Can we share this world together? My name is Ralphie, I got no money, but I got a life I want to live with you. If you help me bring the kingdom today, I will sing a song with you. I will dance, I will do a vegetable cleanse, I will work really hard at working out. I will go dancing, I'll go to ball games, and we'll build people houses made to last. We won't go to war, we won't follow that money whore across the street. We'll bury her under it, make new vehicles, and no longer compulsively destroy our planet, make us retarded, you see. All the wonders that I find in the playground in my mind. I think I'm the Messiah, I must be crazy. My brain and heart, it just must be lazy. I must be looking for magical solutions up in here. Pass me a beer, let's put on some armor. Go murder some Iraqis today. We'll bring back some oil to drive our cars. Bake our brains away. Self-medicate, then I'll get laid. Cause the girl's so high, she don't know what she doing. I don't either. It'll just be a half-self sex life. I guess I'll settle for that. My playground sucks. I like the first one instead of the second one, y'all. I wouldn't want to be your president, but I sure would like to be your Messiah if you would have me so thusly. I'm just messing with y'all. Actually, not. I'm really serious. Definitely serious, because it's life and death to me. Life and death in the streets. Blessings, blessings, and peace, you know. And I'm back in my slide, and it's my peace that I'm reaping because my family I'm needing, and we're all relatively connected. This is the hell that we live in because we live this game of make pretend. We love the hustle of money, and shit ain't really funny, but hey, it's what I got to live with because I'm Slide Pro for life, dogs. All right, I love you. See you, man. I'm going to go down to the library and see if I can drop some knowledge on some real living people and see if I'm the last living person on the planet or not. Man, maybe love you back to life. I'm trying, man. You can't blame a brother for trying, you know what I'm saying? I think, wow, this public crucifixion sucks. These guys are mean. Jeez. But I still love you, because I ain't ever going to give up on you. I'll do this or die trying. Blessings and peace.